forgive me if I say his name wrong, Saifullah Kamal Musallet, and he is from Tampa. He is the 20-year-old that was beaten to death Friday by settlers in the Israel-occupied West Bank.
How far is that from where your family is?
I believe Sinjad. I actually don't know where that. I believe that city is close to. Is it close to Bethlehem and Jerusalem? I'm not actually sure. So actually, I'm curious. I'll look it up.
Because in all reality, it's so funny. Like to a Floridian, you know, the entire size of the West Bank is small. I got to tell you, right? Like it's small. Like I drive 8 hours just to get out of Florida. So, you know, our perceptions of distance are often varied, but I know that the West Bank is not that big, so it can't be that far.
It's only about like an hour and a half drive or so, 2 hours. Yeah.
Right.
Well, give credit to perhaps the best left activist in the United States, in our humble opinion, Medea Benjamin of CodePink, who has been doing an exceptional job, if there ever was one, of confronting our public servants on Capitol Hill. And of course, there is no love lost between a real Jew like Medea and a fake Jew like Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
A Palestinian American was just beaten to death.
Okay. I want you to look very closely from the start. I want you to look at Wasserman Schultz's face when she recognizes that it's Medea who starts talking.
She cannot get this woman out of her. Like Medea takes up so much space rent-free in Debbie's head.
This woman is a Palestinian American.
Get this. And what's even more amazing, because I have stood in the presence of both of these women, one who I adore and one I loathe. Debbie is a very small person.
Well, this is again brings back to the thing about how when I've said Medea is even smaller than Debbie.
Yeah, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. So watch as this unfolds. See, I don't know exactly. Jen, you should have texted Medea and just asked her, where exactly was that this took place? Because it looks like one of those high-end ballrooms in some DC hotel.
It is. It's at some sort of, you know, lobbyist function. They know where, it's some sort of.
But this is a pro-Israel function that Medea was able to get into.
Was just beaten to death on the West Bank. I'm sorry. This is a private event.
Now, I have to say, this woman who just came over here to stop Medea, you put your hands on her and you could be under arrest.
The lady in white put her hands on Medea.
She did. Like, you're a damn fool. It's like, you can't get near the congresswoman.
Right, let it play. Let it play.
Palestinian American from Florida. Congressman, is that something you will speak out against? Congresswoman, he was a nonviolent, peaceful person from Florida who was beaten to death, and then they wouldn't let the ambulances in. They kept the ambulance out for 3 hours while he bled to death. He's an American citizen from Florida. Will you speak out against that?
No, I'm too busy putting myself front and center at Alligator Alcatraz, where I don't belong. And by the way, and I've said it, the only reason she cares about Alligator Alcatraz is because it's probably a company that she doesn't have stock in that's in charge of it.
We put out a clip the other day. She's been trying to get a private prison in South Florida for 20 years.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That's crazy.
She was funded by Geo Group for the longest time, and she had to slip that under the rug. You see, when Jen ran against Debbie the first time, we were able to expose the fact that she was one of only 3 Democrats in the whole country that sat on the board of ALEC. And when that happened, I mean, she lost her mind. She made them scrub her name from the website. Like, she went to task, and that also set off Debbie to the point where she decided to take Jen's name and turn JenPerelman.com into a website that got redirected to her federal congressional page, which is
she did do that.
She stole your domain. Damn.
She stole 2. She stole JenPerelman.com and JenPerelmanForCongress.com. Both went directly to her congressional website during our first campaign.
Could you just trademark your name and then force her to give it back to you?
No. You can do. I mean, like, how can I trademark my name?
You can trademark your name.
Jennifer Perelman.
You can trademark your name if you're a public figure, which you are, I would say. I think should look into it, because you can trademark things and look into it, because I've like had to deal with stuff like that before.
That's interesting. I just, you know what? For me, it was her having one of her many Marsha moments, which was really my sole purpose for existing in so many ways during that campaign.
Like I said, if you just look at the very beginning, if you look at her face,
Peter's obsessed with Debbie Wasserman. She's like, oh God, Medea.
Like, you can tell that there is a burning rage inside of her for common people. Like, she, especially not just common people, but common people that confront her, because she knows she's an evil witch. She has to know. She can't. I mean, she's been confronted before in interviews. You know, we have the clip of her saying, we purposely don't have primaries in the Democratic Party so that we don't have to be challenged by activists. It's like, for her.
No, that's why we have super delegates. We have super delegates because we can't allow the grassroots to actually have control of the situation.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know. It's wild. That's the thing, though. Like, when it comes to these, you know, is she elected because of the fact that she's Zionist, or could somebody like yourself, could somebody that's a Democrat that has all of her policies except for the fact that they're not Zionist, be elected in that district? Would the district vote for them? I don't know if it's that, or if it just comes down to the fact that she has millions of dollars at her disposal.
All of the above. It's all of the above.
I would say that with her, it's a combination of a few things. I think that the number one reason why she's protected, there's two of them. There's two particular reasons that she's protected. The first one is that she truly is a confidant of Netanyahu. Like, she really is within his inner circle. And so when you're that knee deep within the Zionist hierarchy, there is a level of protection that you are afforded that other people are not afforded. And whether
like
that's
Randy Fine as well.
Randy Fine would be another example of that. I mean, Randy Fine, we didn't even have a chance to bring it up with Ann Eskamani, but I would have asked her, you know, you sat behind him in Congress.
She's so thankful she doesn't have to be in the same building with him anymore. She was probably celebrating that he got that promotion.
But I'm telling you, bro, like, I never for the life of me, as terrible as I always knew that he was, I never saw him sit in Tallahassee with a yarmulke on his head. Now he does it everywhere he goes on Capitol Hill. Like, to me, that's the type of hypocrisy in Jewish culture that unfortunately doesn't get called out enough. But
that's the hypocrisy in Zionist culture.
Yes. And he is one of the very worst. Like, he's much more front and center than Debbie is at this point, but they're still equally horrific people. So was Brian Mast. I mean, Mast is the guy who showed up on the congressional floor with the IDF jacket on. I mean, how's that not treason? I mean, talk about just a guy who does not care about, you know, forget Palestinians. I mean, he's a person who is so traumatized clearly by his experience serving in the Middle East and having lost his legs. So now he feels, all right, well, I want everyone else in the world to feel my pain. Has always been my attitude, is why they act that way. But it's our job, as I said, to just continue to expose this, because a lot of times people don't see these things. They don't get to see just how completely devoid of humanity these people really have. And it's all career, you know, self-serving. That's also the danger with somebody like Wasserman Schultz. I mean, you know, perhaps the district becomes to the point at which it's flippable red, but there's nobody in the Democratic Party that's going to challenge her in her district that has any type of political infrastructure in the area. And there are tons of people who would love to have her seat. We know that.
Yeah, I'm over this district at this point. Like, I would be happy never talking about Debbie Wasserman Schultz again. I just wanted to put up this question from David Hunter.
Well, do you think we will see the end of the Zionist state? You know, sometimes I'm very I don't think it's somewhere in the middle. I think it's either yes or like no. Sometimes I'm very optimistic and I'm like, absolutely. I don't know if we're seeing the end of the Zionist state or if we're going to see the beginning of the Israeli empire. I genuinely I try to be very hopeful, and I think for the most part I am. Part of me thinks, okay, you know, even if America goes down, the only thing Israel needs from America really left, like the last thing, is it needs Iran taken out. It needs either a revolution there, which it's trying to do covertly, or it just needs to or it needs to push the U.S. to war there. But I'm thinking, like, let's say Israel gets its way then. I don't know. I think things will be different. I think there will definitely be change.